It says, hi everyone and welcome back to PIH live streams. We've had a little week's holiday. I hope you've missed us all, just like we've missed you. Tonight we have two new victims. We have Johnny and Justin, our two new members of the PIH team. So I'd like to welcome them on behalf of us all and of the bus man and lady who are having another little chilled night tonight. So first and foremost, before we start, we have some Pendle news. Unfortunately, due to the latest outbreak of COVID, and you know we're not ones for talking about COVID on this channel, as we like to keep it light-hearted and fun and fancy-free, but due to the current outbreak, unfortunately, we have had to cancel Pendle till a later date, which we're all a wee bit upset about, but the safety of the team and everyone else comes first. So, but we'll keep you updated as soon as we can and when we can about the current situation. So, our new victims, Johnny and Justin, welcome to PIH.
Hello.
Well, thank you.
Who would like to
Good
go
to see
first
you.
and give us a little bit of information about themselves?
I vote
And-
Johnny.
I
And,
vote Justin.
and how you got into the paranormal? Go on, Johnny, get on with it.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. Right, where do I start? I've been into the paranormal for a long time, 15 years. Yeah, it all started when I used to watch paranormal TV shows, like Most Haunted and Ghost Hunters and stuff like that. But then I started experiencing stuff in my house. Like fire alarms would go off at strange times, and I'd see shadows and things like that. Then over time, I started getting involved in ghost hunting groups. So I've been I was involved one for 2 years doing outside investigations. Saw a few things, shadow figures, voices. Yeah. And then to bring us up to date, a few weeks ago, I got contacted with Shelley, started talking to her, and got involved in this lovely group.
Well, it's good to help you, Johnny.
Thank you.
And
Justin,
that
over
was
to you.
because I actually knew you for you were in the previous group me and Sam was a part of. We just never
That's
really
it.
managed to get out into investigations.
Which is a
And I
shame.
remember your name there when I seen, and I thought this fella's done these investigations. This fella knows what he's doing, and we just
I don't know
had a wee
that.
chat really.
I don't know if I know what I'm doing, but I try.
See, to be honest, Johnny, do we all?
It's a learning curve for us, mate. We're all learning.
That's
Aye,
very
There is,
we're
true.
all in
there
the
is no
same boat.
expert in this field. We are
No,
always
that's true.
learning.
That is very true.
It's hard.
I'd just like to say hello to a couple of people that have popped up in the chat. We have Helen Hanley. Hi, hope you're well. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Helen.
Sarah's
Hi,
here
Helen.
keeping a little eye on us all. The boss lady.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi
Hi,
to
Chloe.
Frankie as well. Hope you're well, Frankie.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Remember, if you've got any questions you need to ask, just fire away. Just pop them in the chat, and we'll do our best.
Oh, Thomas is on as well. Hi, Thomas. Hope you're well, buddy.
Hiya,
Hi,
Tom. You all right, Deezer? How you doing? I love Tom. He's such a nice fella.
Lovely. It's been
So,
a really
Johnny,
great hour through the Pendle.
Yeah.
Oh,
He has. He has. So, Johnny, what made you want to join PIH?
as I said, I was in a group previously, and I don't want to be bad, but I wasn't getting far with the group,
Okay.
so I was looking for something different, a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
And after talking to Shelley, I could tell that it was wanting to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
So
am
I
I right in
couldn't-
saying that you're studying history as well,
I was just
Johnny?
got to saying I'm into history. I'm currently
Uh-huh.
studying history, so that intrigued me as well. Because
that's
I'm
perfect,
more,
mate.
That's cool,
I'm
yeah.
more on the side of the paranormal. I believe if you find out about the place, then you're going to find out more about the ghosts.
That's like
can-
me. I like to
people
look
that
at the
work there,
history
uh-huh.
behind it.
Definitely. You can use that to draw the ghosts out. So
Mhm.
you can.
Mhm. It's an
It gives you a
automatic
reasoning, doesn't
translation.
it?
Yeah,
It does.
of course it does.
definitely
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's like I
So
always
it's a
say, if
perfect
you
match
look
for
at the
you, Johnny.
history first,
Yeah. 100%.
look at the history first, and then everything else falls into place.
Exactly. You can relate to the ghosts that way, and you can
Mhm.
talk to them and understand them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what about you, Justin? Can you tell us a wee bit about yourself and how you got into the paranormal, or
Yeah, of
was
course
it?
can. I got involved with paranormal as a complete skeptic. I basically thought it was all nonsense. To be fair to you, I saw an ad pop up on Facebook for a ghost hunt. I jumped out of planes and bungee jumped and whatever else I could do to try and like endanger my life, basically. I was like, let's go, let's do it. We were doing the ghost hunt and stuff. It went to me, I say, yeah, went to this one ghost hunt, and I was like, I was literally quiet as a mouse. I was a complete skeptic, didn't believe any of it. And I was like, I enjoyed the social aspect of it. And I was like, so I went back and I kept going back. And then I was like, right, there's got to be more to this now. I want to go and do other places. I want to go around the country doing this because the group that I went with primarily at the start was always based in the Northwest. But then I started going further afield, like East Drive, Calvin and Hatch, you know, the usual places. And
Yeah.
I was Skirridin, Four Crosses, there's hundreds of them. And it was just like, I'm intrigued in this. This is like, and it's not taking a drug, it's like an addiction. It's like, this is fascinating. I was just like, let's do this. But then like you go around, you see some things, you're like, I can debunk that, but why can't I debunk that? And I like the fact that you always leave a ghost hunt with more questions than answers. And that for me intrigues me. Because I'm quite a logical person and I always like to think I have the answer to everything. Do you know what I mean? Typical bloke, basically. But ghost hunting is like you don't have the answer to everything, and that's I'm passionate about because I still want to find the answer to everything with the ghost hunting, and I'll keep doing it until I find the answer to everything, which I don't think will happen, but it's fun trying.
You're right. Well, you always leave with more questions than you do get answers.
Yeah,
you always go
yeah.
there to get that answer, and you never ever get it. And you think, just opens up a can of worms, really.
It does.
But that's what makes it so
Thinking more, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you said you were a skeptic.
Yeah.
So has there been anything that's maybe changed your mind and to make you more of a believer?
There has.
Or not?
There has. I mentioned the Skirridin. I went to the Skirridin probably about, because I've only done this really for about 4 years. I was with this group for about 6, 8, 10 months, somewhere around that sort of figure. And I was like, I need to go out and do other places now because I was intrigued by it. Seeing this one for Skirridin, I was like, let's go to Skirridin. So I went down to Abergavenny, and in the Skirridin, you've got like a main bedroom, which used to be a courthouse back in the 1600s, and then you go down some stairs. There's a bathroom, but they used to be the holding cell for all the prisoners before they got hung, because they used to actually hang people in the building, and the original beams are still there. We was in there, and literally, he must have been 7 foot, 8 foot tall. This black shadow figure walked down the stairs. Everyone in the room saw it, and I was like, "Whoa!" that scared me. To be fair, I've got to be honest, that did scare me. I've never seen anything like it since. Whether I see it again, I don't know, but I saw it at that moment in time, and that did scare me. And I was like, it scared me at the time, but then that gave me the buzz. Then I was like, "Oh, what else is there?" You know, it's like, I need to carry on. What else can I do?
Is there anywhere that you wouldn't go back to?
No, I wouldn't go. I'd go back to everywhere.
Right, okay. What about you, Johnny?
I literally hold no fear. I'd say everyone says, like, oh, I won't go back there because, like, a bad experience. That's why you should go back.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of places I'm scared to go back to,
Okay.
but I would go back.
Where are they?
Eglinton Park.
Right, okay.
That place scares me too.
It is quite spooky.
I saw a shadow figure. They've got this church, a building, and they've got clear the windows, and you just seen this shadow figure go right by the window. Jumped out my skin. I nearly hit the ceiling.
Oh no.
Terrifying. They've also got a black knight there. So they have. And what else? You can hear a
You've
horse.
got a fan, Justin?
Oh, I know Chloe very well. We've done a lot of ghost hunting together, Chloe. We actually been to the Edinburgh Vaults together, me and Chloe.
Did you?
Yeah, we've done the Edinburgh Vaults at the Southbridge Vaults, yeah. Just did skill in telling you from Skeptic to Believer, 100%. That's when I realised there was something else. Up until that point, everything else I debunked. As soon as I saw that walking down the stairs, I was like, right, there is something.
Something
and then
there.
I was a definite believer, yeah. Because I always wanted to prove that. Now my theory is I want to prove life after death beyond reasonable doubt.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when you can post pictures till the cows come home and like EVPs and stuff you caught, but unless you were there, it's always open to criticism.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think as well, sometimes if you go places and you either think you've seen or heard something,
yeah,
you're like, did I hear that? Did I see that?
Yeah.
And then your mind starts to play.
Yeah, of course it
tricks
does.
on
Yeah,
you.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you're like, did we, like, for example, we were at a location, was it last week, Johnny? We went?
Yes, it was.
And you took a cracking photo and we actually captured a picture of what looked like a little girl, right? We all seen it
We
in
did,
the photo,
100%.
but then when we went to post the photo up, it was nowhere to be seen.
Oh wow.
The actual figure was nowhere to be seen, but we all saw it
We did.
on the
Yeah.
camera.
Strange.
Very strange.
Like, you don't know if that was. I don't know. It was odd.
Yeah,
It's one of those things that you don't know. You're forever second guessing. Did I see
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I don't know.
Always.
It's like we're a team that we're not a team for saying, oh, it's paranormal. It's this, it's
No.
that, because not
no.
everything is paranormal.
No. Well,
Like,
paranormal
yeah,
simply means not normal, doesn't it?
That's it. Where about in Eglinton Park did you have your experience, Johnny? That's from Scott.
Oh, I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact. I know the bit, but I don't know the name of it. They've got like buildings here.
Right.
I don't know the exact name of it. It's surrounded by buildings. I don't know the exact name of it. It's in the middle of it. The derelict buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Like a chapel bit, and you can stand inside it, around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. We stood in a circle and held hands, see if we could
Okay.
feel anything. And as I looked round, I just saw the shadow figure go by the window. Me and another girl saw it.
Strange, isn't it?
It was strange. It looked like it was a woman. I would have thought it was a witch.
Would you have? A witch?
Yeah, I just thought
Irene lives in Japan. Irene's saying that there are more places in public view that you don't have to go far. She lives in Japan, and she's basically said that I will take you ghost hunting. There are so many places and not too far away from my house.
Oh wow.
I'll happily go.
Yeah, I'd happily go to Japan. Let's go.
Chloe's asking what our favourite location is.
Me, Brigadoon.
Brigadoon was good. I must admit, Brigadoon was
Brigadoon.
good. Brigadoon was good. What about you, Justin? What do you think?
I like Skirridin purely for that shadow figure. I've only ever been there once, because then COVID started and I didn't have an opportunity to go back, but I'd love to go back there. I love the Four Crosses, but one of my actual favourite places to investigate is Williams's Park in Lancaster, where the witches were hung in Pendle.
Okay.
No,
I've had quite a bit there, to be fair.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't say
a
I've
go-to
got
place for me.
I wouldn't say I've got a favourite place, because there's a number of places that I really like going to.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm originally from the borders, so from like the Scottish border, so we're steeped in like Reaver history and everything down my way. So we've got like, there's loads of like castle jails and things like that. You've got like Jedburgh Castle Jail. You've got the hanging tree, the Douglas family hanging tree. You've got Mary Queen of Scots' house, which is in Jedburgh. You've got all that. And even in my hometown of Hawick, you've got that steeped in history. You've got the old like Tower Hotel, which dates back to the Jacobites. And it's just, it's wild. It's amazing. I really like going to like seeing all like the border things, but at the same time, I've got a right soft spot for Greyfriars. I really, really like Greyfriars.
I love it there.
I've been there once. I did a public investigation there once, and yeah, it's definitely haunted. It's quite spooky.
It's different. It's calm. It's weird. Obviously, we've been lucky enough to get into the Covenanters prison a few times, like as a team, and me and Shelley ourselves as well. So it's completely different. It's like you don't even see birds flying over the prison or nothing.
Yes, I've always wanted to get in there. I've never been in there, but I've always wanted to get in there.
Amazing. We've been in a few times. We've been in a few times now. It's fantastic.
It's a great place here. You can walk through the graveyard into the Covenanters prison, and you just feel the total atmosphere change dramatically. It's a total different feeling when you walk through those gates.
It's very oppressive. I think you go through. Like when you're walking around the graveyard, you hear the birds tweeting, the trees are rustling, blah, 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 things like that. But as soon as you enter those gates at the prison, it's like, oof.
Yeah.
It's like silence.
It just feels so not even in, and it is like a corridor you walk through, but it just feels as though, and it's not got a roof, but it feels as though you've got a roof. Doesn't it? It just feels as though it's so
it feels like you're all closed in.
Yeah.
And it's open air.
But it does feel like you're all. It's strange. Chloe's saying that her favourite location is a cross between Castle Ring in Rugley and the Poltergeist House.
I've been to the Poltergeist House. That's can we say names that own it?
Say that again, Justin. Sorry.
Can we say names that own the Poltergeist House or not?
I would just go for it. Believe me.
Yeah, it's Lee and Lindsay Stairs' place, isn't it, in Rotherham? I've been there a few times. I'm actually going back there in July. It's an interesting place. But in terms of the castle, I'm assuming Chloe. Do you mean the Castle Ring, Cannock Chase?
She could be. Johnny Sarah was asking.
Well, if you can answer that, if it's in, if you can answer that, that'd be great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I've not been to the Castle Ring, so I can't comment on that. I've never actually been there.
Well,
but the Poltergeist House I've been to. I can talk all day about the Poltergeist House, but yeah, the Castle Ring I've not actually been to.
Johnny, would you go back to Eglinton Park?
Oh, I would.
And you would go back to where you'd be scared? Because Sarah was saying there that the only building that she can think of in Eglinton Park is the Castle Ruins.
Castle Ruins, that's what it was, the Castle Ruins.
It was in the Castle Ruins, so you would be more than happy to go back there. Face your fear.
I would.
Face your fear.
Oh, you've got to.
I think I would like to go up to the Black Isle. And I mean, I've been going to the Black Isle for years and years and years. But see now that I've actually delve more into the history of the Black Isle and learning about all the different people that live there and the things that happen. I would love now to go and do a tour of the Black Isle and investigate it.
Johnny's asking you where the Black Isle is, Shelley.
Where is the Black Isle?
Where the Black Isle is, so it's just over the bridge from Inverness.
Right, okay.
It's not actually an island; it's actually just land. But
right.
It's called the Black Isle because there's water all round about it.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Moray Firth, the Beauly Firth, you know, so it's landlocked basically, but a fascinating place. And I would love to now go and investigate.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, sounds
I
good.
would take a tent and would go.
Oh, Shelley would. She would. Justin, a question for you from Sarah Holt. What's your favourite investigating equipment?
Because I know Sarah.
What's your favourite investigation equipment piece and why?
Always yourself. I've got all the gadgets, but the best piece of paranormal equipment you can bring to any investigation is yourself, because you can feel changes in atmosphere, temperature changes like cold spots. You can do that yourself. You don't need the equipment to tell you that.
See, I'm a firm believer in going with your gut.
Yes, exactly.
If you've got an inkling or a gut feeling about something, follow it.
Yeah,
100% agree.
Yeah, 100%.
You've got to.
Because 9 times out of 10, it's right.
Yeah.
Myself quite in tune, because we tend to want to go to the same bits. We think of the same places, like, oh, I want to go down there. You can feel the pull. You know how when you go to a location and your senses are drawing you to a certain part of that spot, that area that you're in. Me and Sam are good at picking up the same place. And
we're quite weird. We could be writing a text message and at the same time we both send the exact same text message.
Oh wow.
it's strange. It's weird.
Soul sisters.
Yeah.
So as you guys
if you want to talk equipment wise, like in terms of the best piece of equipment is always yourself, but equipment wise, I think the I Plus is probably the best piece of equipment to be fair.
Right.
Because it's all in one. You've got like temperature, humidity, pressure, vibration. It does the EMF. It does a lot.
Yep.
One of our team members, John, he's got a question to both gents. What's your favourite time period in history to learn about?
Oh, tough question. World War II.
Right.
World War II. I'm always interested in that.
Right. To be honest, I was never really interested in history, to be fair. I was like interested in the ghosts and whatever as I got into it. It's not until I started working with Thomas Broad, that I actually started like looking into because we was involved in the project to do a Pendle, and it wasn't until I got into that I actually really started like looking into it and like wanting to learn new things, if you like. But up until that point, I was not interested in history at all. So I took geography at school because I didn't care about history.
See, I'm a big Tudor and Stuarts fan. I like the Tudors and Stuarts. I like that, like Henry VIII and Mary Queen of Scots and things like that.
Yeah, that's very. I like that as well, actually.
Quite good.
I'll be honest. History wasn't my thing either, to be honest.
No.
But actually, I have never been so fascinated about history in my life since I started listening. It's just been amazing.
It draws you in.
It's like actually learning so much.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Chloe's favourite time period in history is the Victorian era. That's quite a good era to like. It was quite...
Yeah.
So as you guys know, we have been filming our mini documentary, The Darkest Mile, in the lovely Edinburgh. This is nearly complete and will be streamed on our YouTube channel exclusively. So we're going back to Edinburgh on Wednesday just to film the last few pieces, and then it will be all go. And on the back of that, 2 weeks ago, we also done an investigation at Nedry Street South Vaults, courtesy of City of the Dead Tours. And I'll hand you over to Shelley to give you some info about that, because I was away doing other things, interviewing and things, while Shelley and the rest of the team were investigating. So over to you, Shelley.
All right, that is back now. We're back.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Shelley. I can hear you anyway.
I thought we'd closed it there. I thought I'd closed it at the wrong time. The investigation at the vault was really quite fascinating. For the time that we were there, we were using different kind of equipment. We were using the grid, the laser grid. We were using the K2 meters. We were using the EMF field detector that gives you the temperature as well. We had the necrophonic app. We had 2 cameras running. We also had a voice recorder running. So we were quite well equipped in that space. And we were in one of the larger vaults. It was a workhouse. So they would be working in there for, I'm not sure exactly what particular reason they would be working in there, what they would be doing in that area that we were in. But we had that much equipment going. We had some hits in the K2 meter, and we also had the EMF. Again, I keep forgetting what this thing's called. It's the EMF. Sarah, if you're in the chat, can you help me with that machine? It's the EMF, and it gives you the numbers, and it also reads the temperature. And I can't remember the name of that. So Sarah, you can tell me that.
We had the GoPro camera as well.
The GoPro. So that was an immense amount of equipment that we had. There was myself, there was Sarah, there was Scott, and there was Laura. We were in that room, and we were all experiencing different feelings. The temperature dropping, the K2 meter would go off, and Scott and Laura were over at the back of the hall, and they had the necrophone up, and they were getting quite a few names coming off it. While I was going about with this meter, and it was reading high alerts for the EMF at the same place where the K2 meter was going off. And at one time I heard footsteps, but it was debunked, so that was fine. Sarah can't remember the name of that either, just the blue one.
Just the blue one.
But it read the temperatures and it read the EMF. So once I put that down, there was no movement on the cat balls. We had cat balls as well. There was no movement on them. The laser grid pen, it died. The battery died on it. And we were talking through the necrophonic app. We were getting quite a bit of activity through that. And we asked a question. And at the exact same time, we heard the same response coming through the necrophonic app. And it sounded like why. And immediately after that, in a male voice, we heard why in the room. And it was a male voice in the centre of the room. And
like
the only male person was Scott. Clear as day. Myself heard it, Sarah heard it, and so did Laura hear it. We all heard this voice, and we instantly looked at the same place. Unfortunately, though, there was absolutely no evidence to support that, because every piece of equipment, the voice recorder, the two camcorders, Scott's phone was no use. There was absolutely no
footage.
There was no footage, no physical evidence.
Shelley's files are actually corrupted.
Everything was corrupt. Now, whether we're not putting this down to paranormal, it was very damp in there. It could have been the situation, the circumstances that we found ourselves in, but it was just heartbreaking that we had spent that time in there. We got that voice. We knew that was nobody in the vaults, because the only people other than us that were in the vaults were away in another direction. And it was in the room, and it was as clear, and it was a male voice, and it said why.
It was me, Grayson and Jamie, and we were at another part of the vaults.
Yeah.
So we were nowhere near where they were.
Yeah.
We were in there in that room for about an hour when that happened, and I mean, I would be quite happy to spend the night in there just to get as much evidence as I could find. There was a time where I had the app going on my phone, and it came up with a few words. It said, Rowan. It said tree. Then it came up and said Rowan. Then placements or composition, and then plural, which led me to think that there was like kind of trees run about. And then Laura instantly says, well, I've got Rowan in my name, which we did think at the time was quite kind of funny. But then later on, looking at the pictures, where we were was Rowan's Close. So it was quite fascinating that
when we first went in.
Came up like that. So it was a wee bit of validation. It was the only validation that we could have. None of the pictures showed any evidence. There was no voice recorder evidence. That was all gone. All the camera footage, all the GoPro camera was away. But what a fantastic experience it was. And we just wish we could have shared that with you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, once we've completed Darkest Mile, we're going back to the vaults.
Oh.
We're going to go back and we're going to try this time and get some footage. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Because it was amazing.
Sounds it.
It really was.
That's right, Sarah. I mean, where it came from was where you were sitting to the left-hand side and you were facing that direction. So you would have heard it a lot closer than us. And we were out at the back of the room. It's just so clear. It was so loud as well. You know, like you would have heard that anyway. You would have heard that outside the room. That voice, it was so clear in a male voice. And for it to come the same word exactly directly after the voice came through the necrophonic app saying the same word.
It's crazy how it works sometimes, isn't it? But it's just very, like you said, we're not putting it down to like being any sort of paranormal activity, but it's very, very strange that every single piece of equipment in that room failed at some point.
Yeah. Personally, me,
I've had that a few occasions. Interesting.
It's one of those things that we'll just need to go back and try again.
Exactly, yeah.
Again,
we'll just need to go back and try
again. Yourself.
We left with more questions than we had when we were in.
Definitely.
Exactly, yeah.
So we'll be ready for it. We'll be ready for it next time.
Yeah. You won't be. You'll leave me more questions after that.
I know. Maybe so. We also done a joint investigation with our friends from Caledonia at the power station in Auchinleck, between Auchinleck and Ochiltree. And we're also looking forward to getting out with them again in the very near future. And we're also going to be doing a Halloween special, which is going to be very, very good. So watch this space. Did anybody watch the investigation on Facebook or YouTube, and what's your thoughts on it? I wasn't there because I hate the power station. Hate it.
If anybody's watching, they would have seen that it was actually quite a fascinating investigation. Just myself and Scott went with Caledonia, and
Sarah nearly died. I went back. Sarah nearly died. She went to sit on a step, a floor up, and nearly hurt the deck.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, as locations go, it is really dangerous to be in. Actually, I mean, it's no the safest of places to be going in, and we've agreed as a team that we're not really going to go back there because it's just not safe enough.
It's being pulled down anyway, isn't it?
Is it? As far as evidence goes, I don't know if anybody's watched the video, watched the live stream of the when we done it with Caledonia. Let us know in the chat. It was really, really fascinating. It was good for for myself.
Sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing, but I'm not.
To be fair, these stairs are very, very active.
They're very active. Me and Shelley went down a month ago, and my name came over. Shelley's name came over the app. Then my name, I was told to stop, Sam, get out.
Oh, that's interesting.
It didn't want me to get out. It just wanted Sam to get out.
It wanted me to get out. Ooh. And then Shelley and Scott had went down, and it said my name again, and I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. It said, want Sam's life. Want Samantha life.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No
So
one
I was advised from like international medium, Charlotte, to get protection, etc., which I did. So I went back with my protection.
Right.
I went back just to see how I felt. So I did go back with my protection. Me, Sarah, Scott, and my husband, we went. And me and Sarah were sitting on the steps. My husband and Scott were away up the stairs, like up the top. And we heard like somebody below us standing on like glass, like somebody stepping on glass, but there was nobody there. It was like 2 foot shuffles and then somebody stepping on glass. It was very, very strange.
He watched it.
It didn't like the stairs. The stairs, I thought the stairs were most active. That's where I felt.
We actually, when I was there with Caledonia, we had the REM pod. The REM pod went off on the stairs when we were doing the spirit box. But then the REM pod stuck on. It wouldn't go off. And we moved the REM pod, and then the REM pod went off. We moved it back to the step. It stuck back on again. And then, I mean, it was quite fascinating. And them as a team have been doing this for years, and they've never seen it do that before.
They're really good.
So for me, at that point, I knew that was it. I've been holding about that power station now, been every inch of it nearly. And the stairs for me is by far the most active place. When we were there, we pretty much go, a lot of people like kind of working. If, for example, I had my app on again, I know this app, but I feel in tune with it. I feel as though it gives me responses that I need. And so I asked, when I was there with Scott, what accidents have happened here? And it gave me a list. It gave me a list, and it was jump, crash, slice, and then there was something else, and that was all in tandem. It was like one after the other straight away after I asked that question, and the location sits right next to a busy main road, and there is a hell of a lot of accidents that happen on that road, car crashes. Apparently as well, we've heard like somebody's fell in there, whether they've jumped or not, I don't know, but then obviously sliced. I mean, it's working with electrical stuff, so they're bound to be using cables and stuff in there as well. But the questions that was coming across, the answers that was coming across through the app and the atmosphere, how you felt, I felt just so relaxed in there. I didn't feel scared at all. So, and when we went with Caledonia, we did get a lot of K2 hits. We used 2 K2 meters, and we were asking the female to light my K2 meter up, and we were using the males to light the other ones up. So it was quite a wee bit of kind of experimenting, and we did the SB7 method. So like Janet had the earphones on, and we were asking questions, and one of the questions we asked was, what do you do for work? And I was saying that I was a driving instructor, and Janet, all she could hear through these earphones was that song Driving License, the one
Olivia Rodriguez, sorry.
And then the next one was Into the Sunlight, and where I was standing, the light was coming down, and I was standing in the middle of it basically, and they says, look where you're standing. I said, look where I'm standing. And then the fella for Caledonia says to Tracy, no, it could be you, because she was standing where a direct bit of sunlight was coming. And then directly after that, the S-Box, like Janet shouted through, no, you're too young. So basically telling Tracy she was too young. So they must have been talking about me when it was coming through the SB7 box, when the music was singing Driving License. It was just so funny. I mean, it's no, and we get a lot of shuffling in there as well. I mean, they're only small pieces, small fragments evidence that you can take away from that, you know. But it's a wee bit of validation.
But all the footage is available to watch on like Facebook and YouTube. So it is all there, Daniel. Thanks very much for that. So you can watch any live or any investigation that we've done on YouTube or Facebook, and it is there for everybody to have a wee look at.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite good actually going back out with Caledonia, because they're so in tune with each other as well.
Yeah, they're lovely, lovely, lovely people. I think I fell in love with them as soon as I saw them on the live for the Colin tribute. I fell in love with these people and actually get to investigate with them. And they just know what they're doing. They've just got it.
And they're so like us. It's strange because it was like a team from team. Their mannerisms, the way they behaved, the way they acted, it's just like us.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Daniel's
good.
question, have you got legit video evidence you can share or post? We've got quite a few bits of video evidence of things that's happened. And if you watch our YouTube videos, you'll actually see there's one where there's a private investigation that's got in Sarah's house. And we've also had hits on the Q2 meter and on the, the cat balls on response. And on the app, when myself and Sam did the Brigadoon, we get quite a lot of evidence on that.
Brigadoon was good. Brigadoon was brilliant.
Goes back to what we said earlier as well, doesn't it? Like if you, everyone always says to me, like personally, like why is there no evidence online for all this stuff? Because as soon as you post it, everyone goes, "Ah, it's this."
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're not performing monkeys, are they?
No, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
I've been to East Drive, 30 East Drive. I've been there 7 times. The only time I've ever experienced any activity is once.
See, do you not think with places like that they're overused?
100%.
And to be fair, whether you're a spirit or no, you're going to be pretty peed off if somebody keeps trying to come into your house and provoke you.
Yeah.
It's like you're not a show monkey. You'll perform when you want to perform, not when somebody's asking you to.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to the. I posted something on Facebook the other day. You go to some like paranormal groups, like on the public events, and they say a spirit is what you would call an intelligent haunting, and a ghost is a residual haunting. Right? Okay. So a poltergeist translates as noisy ghost.
Yeah.
So if a poltergeist is a ghost, how can you possibly communicate with it?
I know.
It doesn't know you're there. It has no idea.
Strange, isn't it? There's that many different questions that can be answered. And Daniel's saying that he's had some paranormal stuff happen to them before in the past, scared the jeebies out of us. What happened, Daniel? Tell us.
Yeah, share that.
Share with us. Tell us what's happened to you, Daniel.
Daniel's not a small guy. I'm 6'4", and Daniel towers above me.
Right. So do you know Daniel?
I've met Daniel, a few years ago. But he's top geezer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not someone to be scared, if you like, about stuff like that. He'd brush it aside. But the fact that he said that,
scared them.
I'm quite intrigued.
Come on, Daniel, don't be shy. We're all friends here. Tell us what scared you. I'm not going to lie, the power station absolutely scares the crap out of me. I don't like it. But I've not liked the power station for years, even long before coming on and joining like PIH or anything like that. I went down walking the dogs like years ago.
Yeah.
And it was like a block had been put down. And not wanting me to go into this certain area. And it was horrible.
It's like fight or flight, isn't it? It's you run towards it, run away.
There's Sarah. She hates Canongate.
We all keep going back.
Yeah, Sarah absolutely hates Canongate. Sarah was down the bottom of Canongate, if I'm right. And there was
my
a black shadow.
Like that bit either.
No,
when I was there with my daughter, she didn't like that either, and she picks up on quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
She's just too young to be able to do what we do, but she doesn't. There is certain areas that she'll just not like.
Mm-hmm. But Sarah's pet hate is Canongate. Me and Sarah have a pact. It was Rizzio's grave. That's where she was. She was at David Rizzio's grave, Mary Queen of Scots' confidant, and she was sitting there. And she saw a black shadow walk in front of her. But me and Sarah have got a pact. If I went back to the power station, even though I was absolutely shitting myself, right? Sarah would come into Canongate and do a nighttime investigation with me in Canongate. We're not going to say that we're not going to be sitting there holding hands with our hoods up, but we'll go.
You will be holding hands, I can guarantee you.
We'll be hats on. I'm the kind of person, I love getting a fright, but I'll also like to wear a hat in case it touches my head. But at the same time, I want it to touch my head. I'm a wee weirdo.
Yeah, I agree with you, yeah.
I really want it. I really want it.
Spirits like smack me around the head or punch me, touch me, poke me.
Aye, but at the same time, I'm like, please don't do it.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Don't do it, but please do. Don't do it, but please do. Pull my hair. No, don't pull my hair. Pull Shelley's. I remember.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I remember being at the vaults, not the Niddry Street South, the other ones we went to, Shelley, with the Pagan Circle. Remember when we done it overnight?
Yeah.
Remember being there and I went absolutely freezing. In Mr. Boots' room, where Mr. Boots is supposed to be standing.
Yeah.
And I just happened, I actually started to shake. I was that cold. And I just sort of turned to my left-hand side and looked, and I seen somebody standing to my left-hand side, taller than me, but hunched over, looking round my shoulder. And there was a medium, about 2 people up from me. And he actually says to me, Sam, he says, you've got a gentleman beside you just now. He says, block him out. Don't let him in. Block him out. Block him out.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. The fact that you saw it as well before you even said anything.
Yeah, I seen it because I was holding Shelley's. We were all like holding hands, sort of thing, like to get the cumulative like energy. And I was shaking. I was actually shaking. I was like cold. And it was at my left-hand side.
Well,
Sarah's shiting herself out there, look.
I did a lone vigil. I did.
Aye, we were telling it to say stuff to Shelley.
They were actually saying it was going to rip my neck off or something.
It told us it was going to decapitate Shelley.
Oh, wow.
Shelley's quite happily just sitting in this vault herself.
Sarah,
it's got to be night time. Sarah, we never said it would be night time.
Right,
John saying Shelley's a tough cookie, lol.
To have a look.
Shelley's a tough cookie. I think she would remain somewhere the rest of us would run from.
Oh, well, you
take Sam's hand at the Brigadoon kick.
Aye.
Well
they
done, Sam.
Daniel saying, well, years ago,
it's
me and
the
missus...
to be feet from, no the dead.
Daniel saying that years ago, him and his missus was together in the caravan, and we used to have a bedside table each, and we used to put our phone watches, candles, and an alarm clock on them. Okay. So, what's next?
In a wee bit, there's another one, Sam.
We woke up middle of night, and all of the stuff ended up between us in a pile. We tried to debunk the situation, but we could find no explanation.
If I woke up with all my belongings next to me, that would excite me. I'd be like, let's go.
They tried to debunk it, but couldn't find an explanation for it.
That's cool.
That's the kind of things I get excited about.
See, Shelley's house is quite active. You could be walking up Shelley's stairs and hear a drawer getting pulled out from up the stairs.
Over the last wee while, my kitchen bin, right, I've got this red bin, but the bin lid is always upside down, all right? So it's kind of like a bowl shape.
Bring it on, GSI. Bring it on.
It's upside down. And the last wee while, it's been coming out the bin when there's been nobody there, and it's been just flung onto my flare in my kitchen. This is the latest things that's been happening. This bin lid that's been upside down in my bin just keeps getting lifted out the bin and flung in the flare while I'm sitting, and I've just looked around and there it's there again. It's the bin lid is lying in my kitchen floor. Okay, I want you to do something, but when you ask it to do something, it doesn't do it. So I'm upset. My kitchen's very, very active. I'm sure I've got
very,
a photo
very
in there.
active.
Just to add to GSI's comment, just because someone tells you something doesn't mean it is. I'll go anywhere you put me.
Daniel's saying again, he was also at the caravan and he's seen a woman figure twice. No talking, just watching over at me with a grey dress and white frilly bits around the neck.
Ooh. Daniel, you need to come go. Daniel, you need to come go something.
Definitely.
That's interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
You must be open.
Yeah.
You must be very open to see that.
Yeah.
You speak. If you're seeing that, you need to speak to someone that can also see. I can't. I'm as sensitive as a brick. But yeah, you definitely need to go something. 100%.
100%. But yeah, GSI.
I don't know if it's John or Ralph.
I don't know who we're
I
talking
don't know which one it is, but I was watching their investigation and I had a slight giggle to myself.
Was it about the horse?
Yes, the horse. It was the horse. Are you a horse? And I just expected something to come back and say, nay. Sorry, but that was class. That's
the bit I was laughing at. Are you a horse? Nay.
Nay. How did we just know that we were going to say that exact same thing there, Sam? Perfect.
Classic.
Nay. So sorry, that just came out of nowhere, but just in GSI, I really had to comment on that because that was TV gold.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was the way that just came out. Wait, are you a horse? Nah.
See if we got an answer, that would have impressed me. That really would have impressed me. Because it was hilarious. That was me. I was ended. Did you just even ask that? Are you a horse? Are you a horse? Nay. Sorry, it was brilliant though. Really brilliant. Investigations are fantastic, Devon.
Honestly, if you've not watched them, get on to honestly GSI. Fantastic. So down to earth. Brilliant. What you see is what you get. Honestly, worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. So, really, Sam, really good.
While we're now talking about that, can I talk about the stuff that we've got going on coming up?
Yes, of course. So, you're in for a treat. Coming up for all you PIH fans, we have Richard Jones, the historian, coming up. We also have Suzanne Lipcombe, who's been on Amazon Prime and the History Channel, among others. We have Matthew Scorch and Sky Ray.
Yep, looking forward to that.
And now this is going to be TV gold. We have a charades night with CRA. We've also done a quiz night with that, which was fun. So the charades night is going to be. Don't even go there. I don't even know how to explain that. How wild that's going to be. We're hoping to be back to the vaults after Darkest Mile is complete to try and get some more information and some more evidence, obviously, as we've explained. We have Karen's Book Corner on the 7th of June. Thanks, John. My £10 in the post, but I'm now charging 15, so you'll need to charge me. You'll need to send me 15 new, pal.
And I'm on half off.
And Shelley's on half off, so you better make it around 20. We also have a special live on the 30th of June. It is PIH's first birthday. So you're all cordially invited.
Happy birthday.
1 year old. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So we have a lot coming your way.
That's all.
And we hope you all are enjoying the channel as much as we are enjoying doing content for you. And once again, I'd like to thank our newest victims, Johnny and Justin, and we look forward to seeing what you can bring to our team. And
Yeah.
John's just been very rude to me and told me to piss off because I've asked for £20. Thanks, John. Love you, really.
Can I just say how really good it is to see how that's almost a year we've been going, and me and you, Sam, you've only been part of Paranormal History since January, and how quickly it's just escalated, and we've got such a great big massive team now. We've got all the way over in America, and then we've got the England team, and then we've got the Scotland team. It's just fantastic.
And we've got the Welsh team. We're spreading out.
Welsh team. We have got the Welsh team. We have the Forest.
It's exciting times, isn't it? Exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
Love you too.
So what to look forward
John.
to in the future.
But yeah, the only way is up. And like we say, always look at the history first before we hit the paranormal, because there's always a reasoning behind it.
There is. 100%.
Is there anything you gents would like to add?
Not that I can think of.
Nope. I think you've said everything for us.
Yeah.
That's no like me, is it? Because I'm the quiet one, right enough, remember?
Aye, right. I've not known you that long, but I know you're not the quiet one.
I'm shocked. John saying it's fun being in a group with a bunch of fellow nutters. Speak for yourself, John Madison.
Yes, I know. We're quite sane.
Very sane, I'll have you know.
Sane?
I mean, it's not as if I run into empty buildings and ask dead people to tell me their name, is it?
You've got to be nuts to do that.
Well, or normal. Define normal. Sarah's the quiet one.
Sarah's the only quiet one. Sarah is actually the only quiet one in this group.
Sarah gets that quiet that you actually ask her, Sarah, are you all right?
Daniel, you're welcome. Has anybody
no
got
problem,
any other,
Daniel.
Stories before we finish up?
No.
Not I can think of, course, my head.
So, Daniel, would you like to maybe come out on a ghost hunt? Or would you like to see if you could experience anything anywhere? Is there a place that you just wouldn't like to go? Oh, here we go again, look. It's Scott who falls off chairs. That's right. Our boss man tends to fall off chairs in lives. It's happened a few times.
I love it when someone religiously watches these lives. So Scott's got nowhere to hide. Even though being on live, he's actually nowhere to hide.
There's been a few times Scott's actually been sitting on a chair and you just see him disappearing from view because he fell off the chair. He done it. Who were we on with? Was it CRA we were on with? And he fell and he pulled the camera out the computer.
Yeah. Quite a lot of CRA team we were on with, and Scott just pulls a heel webcam away, the chair goes, and it's not been the first time. Poor guy.
I know, he gets it tight all the time. Poor Scott.
Right.
Poor
so
Scott.
I think we have done.
Daniel's saying Justin's a top guy. Great addition to the team. All the best for future hunts.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Oh, brilliant.
Sarah's saying first time was a table, then he snapped the chair and pulled the camera out. Well, thanks once again, everybody, for joining us tonight in our first live back. I hope it was an experience without the boss man and lady, and that you've all enjoyed it as much as we have, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Bye.
If I can just hold on to you guys just in the end, I'll speak to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.